Get shuffled up here, start dealing. Mull to 4 Snaptron. That is correct. 100% of the time, if they mull to 4, it will be
natural Tron.
It'll be Tron and then Ancient Stirrings.
Yeah. Devoted Combo is an interesting deck because...
Yeah, we talked a lot about Tron here.
Yeah, I know. Devoted Combo is one of like a few decks that I think might actually have a leg up on Burn. Or Tron, sorry.
It can combo as well as them.
Yes.
In the sense that they're also doing very unfair magic.
Yeah, they play at what looks like a fair game plan. And then sometimes they're just like collected company for both of the combo pieces.
So what are the combo pieces they're trying to assemble?
They're trying to assemble Vizier of Remedies.
And what's that card do?
Which has the text box. If a creature you control would get a -1/-1 counter, instead it gets one less -1/-1 counter. So since it would normally get one -1/-1 counter, then they play Devoted Druid, which taps for a green and has the ability put a -1/-1 counter on it to untap it. When you have Vizier of Remedies in play, you're putting 0 counters on it because of the replacement effect to untap it.
So you're making infinite green mana.
Yeah, so you just make infinite green mana and then try to do something.
And that something usually is you play a Duskwatch Recruiter, you look through your entire deck with it.
For
a Walking Ballista.
Yeah. And then you have Court of Calling as another way to get Duskwatch Recruiter. And that's like it. You're just like, I want to search for
whatever you
combo
want.
Pieces or the kill.
So getting back to the game here, we already got 2 Tron pieces in play and a couple of Ancient Stirrings and an Ugin. So we're looking really good here for the mono green Tron player. Oh, look at that.
He's
just going to have Tron on 3, no problem. What did I tell you? Always.
And if he has Tron in hand, he just gets to grab a card that matters. Doesn't, but...
This is one of the few decks, though, in the format, speaking of Devoted Combo, that really doesn't care all that much about a turn 3 Tron. Unless they play something like an Ugin on the next turn and exile all their permanents.
Yeah.
That's really, because they don't really care about Wormcoil Engine. They care to a degree about Karn, but they can really easily fight through a Karn. It's really just Ugin.
Yeah.
Because other combo pieces are so resilient. So this is a rather slow start from the Devoted player. Playing a couple dorks and just swinging with his Noble Hierarch for 1. Not where you want to be. You really want to be trying to set up your game plan, digging through your deck, looking for what you need to do. Having said that, though, he could untap, play a Court of Calling, not a Court, a Collected Company, and just win.
Yeah. That's the power of this deck, is that you just sometimes, oops, I win.
And here we go, turn 3 Karn. The classic.
I don't know what Brendon wants to be getting rid of. There's nothing here that stands out to me as an egregiously powerful card.
And he's not going to be able to turn him off 4 mana on turn 3. So I really don't think that exiling one of these dorks is where you want to be. If it's me, I'm probably just ticking up and trying to start eating those resources.
Yeah, I'd hope that Mathew doesn't have it and try to go attack his hand so that way he can't get it.
If he only had 1 dork in play, I think exiling the dork is correct, and I think he is going to go up with the Karn here. But he isn't going to be able to put him off 4 mana regardless. See, he even is exiling land. That signals to me that he's got at least 1 more.
Yeah. Looked like I saw a Tireless Tracker in his hand. Not exactly a great card when Karn is in play, but it does fight Karn's ability to attack your hand.
Right. Getting that nice 2 or 3 cards extra might just be enough to get you that last combo piece you need, or find a Collected Company and just put the game out of reach for the Tron player.
That being said, we have talked about the combo a lot, but this deck is built to have an Oops, I Win button and still be able to play fair games of Magic.
Correct.
And if it doesn't just Oops, I Win, it is sadly playing fair Magic against Tron.
And that's not where you want to be, no. Playing fair Magic against Tron, it's just not going to happen. Having said all of this, Brendon does have an Ugin in his hand. So if he has 1 more mana source, this game's about over.
I don't see one right now, which is
It's behind
good.
the Walking Ballista. Oh, a mana source?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to find one more mana source to just put this game out of reach. He's going to play that tracker.
Now we play our fetch. Yep. And I see what looks like a Vizier of Remedies in hand, too, so he just needs to find Devoted Druid to go off.
Devoted Druid and a search piece, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's got all these extra cards coming in with the Tireless Tracker, and if he's using the Karn to exile the Tracker, that's almost where Mathew wants to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really progressing his game plan, though. If Brendon finds a mana, he's just going to play this Ugin and -3 it and effectively end this game.
I don't see Mathew getting out after that.
Yeah, neither do I. Not with an active Karn eating away at your hand and then untapping with an Ugin.
2 active Planeswalkers. One costs 7 and the other 8. Both sitting in play on turn 4. It looks kind of gross. I also see O-Stone and Walking Ballista here.
Both of them are viable options.
Yeah, they're both also going to decimate the board.
Yes. Anyway you shake it up, this game doesn't look very good for Mathew at the moment. But again, A, we've been wrong all night, and B, he can just win. You know, he could untap, top deck a collected company into his 2 combo pieces that he's missing and just win.
Yeah.
Because he already has a Vizier in hand, so. Brendon having a long, hard look at what's going on here.
I think he's just trying to decide what is the most efficient way to obliterate Brendon's board.
Looks like he's going to start here with the Dismember on the Tireless Tracker. So he's going to have access to 6 more mana this turn. Walking Ballista on 3 seems pretty good to just eat the 2 dorks.
Oh, so he's only able to make 5?
No, he put it on 3, bro.
Oh yeah, he had to have put it on 3.
Yeah.
Because he had 1 floating from casting Dismember.
And this is exactly where the Tron player wants to be. Just eating away the hand, playing these very expensive threats early in the game. Keeping the board clear.
Mathew tapping 2 lands to draw a card. Brendon tapping 3 lands to destroy everything.
Yeah.
It's just 2 completely different game plans.
Yeah. Mathew really does need to combo quickly in this matchup.
Yeah, I hope he has some sideboard cards that are going to slow Tron down. It is only 11 card sideboard.
Yeah, we're being told that this Tron guy only plays 11 cards in his sideboard. So let's see what we got here. We got 3 Thought Knots here, 1 All Is Dust, 2 Relic of Progenitus, 1 Crucible of Worlds, 2 Thragtusk, and 2 Nature's Claims. What do you like?
I like Thought Knots here and All Is Dust.
Yeah, you really... Pardon me. You really want to be able to pick apart the Devoted player's hand and get rid of those combo pieces before he can go off. So yeah, I agree with the Thought Knot Seers. The All Is Dust is another good option. Just make him sack his board.
Yeah.
Out of the Devoted player, we got a lot of 1-ofs over there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to have a lot of cards that he can Court of Calling for and hit off of Collected Company.
Right.
I'm worried that maybe he's diluting his sideboard too much. Just when I look at this, I don't see any cards that are extremely strong in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything I like too much either. You might be able to bring in Kataki or Linvala. Linvala stops activated abilities.
Yeah, can you bring up the Linvala? I don't remember if she stops activated abilities of everything or just creatures.
Yeah.
Because if it's everything, then you can't activate Planeswalkers either.
Of creatures, nope. So it's not even,
Yeah, you can only really do anything to Walking Ballista here.
So there's not a whole lot. Maybe you bring in some Artifact Hate, Kasali Pride Mage, something like maybe a Knight of Autumn.
I could see Sin Collector here to try and take Planeswalkers.
No, Sin Collector only hits instant or sorcery.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Then I think his sideboard looks very weak for this matchup.
There's not a whole lot. And even the artifact hate, that's not very good.
Yeah, he might have just said, I can't do anything. This matchup is bad. The only thing I do that beats Tron is I combo on turn 3 or 2.
Yeah. You might be right about that. And Tron isn't very popular at the moment, so...
No, it isn't.
I would not be surprised if he presented the same 60. And just said, I'm all in on the combo.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do in this matchup, if that's my board.
The only other card I could have seen was he had one Selfless Spirit. Selfless Spirit is interesting because it makes you stronger against Walking Ballista and All His Dust. But, again, I think just going for the combo is more powerful.
I agree. So Tron player is going to be taking a mulligan here. You know, Tron, one of the more resilient decks in Modern to these mulligans because they play so many 1-mana artifacts that cantrip, and they play all these ancient stirring effects. So really, these mulligans, until you hit like 5, maybe 4 cards, they really don't start to feel them too much.
Yeah, I think they're on like 12 cards that get another card.
Right. So they really don't feel it as bad as a lot of these other decks too. Like Devoted Combo, that is a deck that really feels a mulligan.
Yeah.
And you can see there's at least 2 Tron pieces there immediately.
Yeah, and I think I saw a Sylvan Scrying there for the third one. So.
And that looked like a snap keep with a turn 1 star. Turn 2, if that is a Sylvan Scrying, you're going to be able to assemble Tron on 3 again.
Yeah.
So. Oh, that's an Expedition map. That's even better than a Sylvan Scrying.
Yeah. It doesn't require the colored mana.
Correct. And Mathew Bravato, he's going to be put to the test again very quickly in this game. We're going to see a turn 3 Tron, and there's an Oblivion Stone in Brendon's hand too, so we're really going to need to see Mathew assemble this combo very quickly.
Yeah, because this deck isn't required to be all in on the combo in very many matchups, it doesn't try to be.
Correct.
It doesn't build itself to be forced to do it on turn 3 every game.
It's not a Storm-style combo deck. It's more of a Birthing Pod type of deck where they can play a long game of Magic with grindy-type creatures and whatnot, but they have an incidental, as you said, oops, I win button.
Okay.
Oh, and he's got the combo.
He's got infinite mana.
So let's see, can he do something with it?
I think I saw a chord in his hand, so he's going to...
If he's got a chord, the game's just over.
If he's got a chord, he goes chord for Duskwatch Recruiter, activate Duskwatch Recruiter until he gets a Walking Ballista in hand, and then still infinite mana, so he makes the Walking Ballista 20.
I like to make it 40, just for style points. Make the Ballista have a lot of arrows in it. I love the flavor for that card. Every counter you put on, it's just like notching another arrow. Yep, and there's that chord. Brendon here at this point, he's just letting him go through the motions. Maybe he'll get some free information.
I think I see him thumbing past Postmortem Lunge in his deck.
No.
Postmortem Lunge is a sweet card some of these decks play. It just allows you to combo out of the graveyard, and it gives it haste, so it means that if you're hitting Devoted Druid, you don't have to worry about, oh crap, Devoted Druid came in this turn, I can't do it yet.
There it is, the Walking Ballista, and he's going to scoop him up. We're going to be headed to a quick game 3 here. As we said, he needed to combo quickly. If he let Brendon untap one more time, he was going to have a turn 3 Tron.
Yeah. Brendon looked a little, like, annoyed there. I saw him, like, reading Vizier, and then he goes, ugh.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think that's kind of funny, because a lot of people are like, screw Tron, I hate Tron.
Yeah,
Tron's the unfun deck, and now the Tron player's like, what the heck, this isn't fun.
Yeah, this cool, dude. I don't want to see that from the Tron guy. Yeah, I don't want to see the from the Tron guy.
This isn't even what I signed up for.
This guy's just playing unfair Magic. What happened to chat? Did they die? There they go.
Tron players are always salty when they get comboed.
It's because they're salty people.
Yeah. It's hard not to be salty when you show up and try to do unfair things.
Yeah.
And people are like, no,
I'm going to be more unfair.
I'm going to do it harder.
Especially when they're not even, that's not their whole game plan. He just did it. This deck doesn't do the turn 3 combo a lot.
Yeah.
It's more of a turn 4, turn 5 combo deck.
I think it's interesting, too. Mathew hasn't shown Postmortem Lunge yet.
Yeah, so he might really be got if he, Brendon might be all in on an Oblivion Stone or an All Is Dust and then really just get destroyed by a post-mortem lunge.
And Tron normally plays Relics, and he might just undervalue them.
Board them out is a card that's just not relevant in this matchup.
This is an interesting hand from Tron. Decides not to keep it. Two forests, 1 Tron piece, and 4 cantrips.
That's not a keepable hand.
It isn't, but it makes for an interesting talking point, which is why so many if you don't want all of them?
Because you always want to make sure you have at least 2. You know what I mean? You have to play a very thick density of them. Because also you play such a large amount of colorless lands that you do need to produce green on 1 or green on 2 a lot.
Yeah.
So those help with your filtering in that regard. It looks like Matthew's also going to take a combo here, and we were talking about, or not a combo,
a mulligan.
He's going to take a mulligan here. As we were talking earlier, this devoted deck really does not want to take mulligans.
No, it doesn't, but I think knowing that you need the combo.
Yeah, you're more willing to take mulligans, and I can see at least a devoted druid in his hand.
Brendon here, going to 5. He knows that he needs Tron on 3, because if Mathew is boarding, or is mulliganing looking for the combo, Brendon needs to Tron on 3 to disrupt it.
Yeah, and not only that, Mathew's going to 6, so going to 5 is nowhere near as punishing, and they're both going to 5.
Oh, they're both going to 5? I thought that hand looked reasonable for Mathew.
I think this situation very much favors Brendon.
Yeah, this is going to be rough for Mathew to do anything.
Correct. So what's your ideal hand here if you're the Tron player? Just like 1 Tron piece, Forest, Chromatic Star, Ancient Stirrings Expedition Map?
2 Tron pieces Expedition Map, Karn.
Well, if you want to cheat.
I mean, that's really the ideal hand. And it's not that
I mean,
cheaty.
you're right about that. But I like my hands to do something.
You can do like Tron piece.
I don't like
Star,
to just play things and then
Tron piece, Star, Sylvan Scrying.
See, like, at least you're doing stuff then. Like,
yeah.
You're not just like play 3 lands, Karn. You're not just being that guy. Oh, and we're going to 4.
Wow.
We're both
going to 4.
All right. Well, we're here for some fun and interactive Magic. Both combo players in Game 3 are going to 4, so there's gonna be a lot of draw go.
Interesting thing you can do. Technically, under Magic rules, games are not best of 3, but are first to 2. So if they feel like it, they can intentionally draw this game to go back to 7. It's not a common thing. People don't do it a lot, but technically within Magic's rules, you can both go back to 7 if you feel like it.
I will never go back to 7.
No,
we're playing this game on 4.
We've
earned it.
We came down here.
Yeah. We've dug our own graves. We're going to lie in them. All right, let's see it.
If I'm Mathew, I'm like, geez, I wish I kept that 6 card hand.
I see at least 1 land for each player, I think. Brendon's looking like he's ready to go to 3.
I don't know if I see a land there.
Have you ever gone to 3 cards?
I have. He is.
I refuse.
I have not.
I will never go to 3. I'll just keep the 4 if there's no lands or if they're all lands. It doesn't matter. Because you're not winning a game on 3 cards. Unless your opponent's on 4.
Yeah. Yeah. If your opponent's still up in the reasonable numbers, you don't win. But
no. You just gotta keep whatever 3 you get, though, right?
I would think.
You can't go to 2. You can't. You just can't go to 2.
I don't know. He's been mulliganing aggressively. Yeah, he's snap keeps it because there's a
Wormcoil
land
and
in
a land. Yep.
Forest.
All right, here we go. Ready for the most riveting game of Magic of your life, folks.
Tapped Godless Shrine. Okay.
Says go. Mathew untaps, draws a card. Oh, he actually has a play.
Viscerous
and
here?
a land. Look at him go.
Whoa.
This
Okay.
is about as good a 4 as he had. I was just over here trying to be sarcastic about it, but this game's looking like it's pretty bad for Brendon.
I think Brendon is only in this game if he goes either cantrips in between or to
and
the
a
next two Tron
tireless
pieces on top.
tracker.
Yeah, this is when fair magic works against Tron.
Mm-hmm. When you know what, when they take the mull to 3, you might be able to beat him down.
Yeah, I think Brendon needed to be able to go Tron piece or cantrip into Tron piece, both 2 turns in a row, and he just doesn't have it, so he's going to get beat down by these dirtily creatures.
Yep.
Rushing
you can see
through
Matthew's, he's real excited here. Oh, and he has a cord.
Yeah, so now if he draws
goodness.
any combo piece, he just gets to immediately go off.
This is the craziest mull to 4 I might have ever seen. Like, you just don't get hands like this on a mull to 4.
Yeah, normally you mull to 4 and you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
This hand does nothing. We're
And
gonna
the tireless
play draw
tracker's
go.
drawn him out of it, man.
Oh yeah.
This is just incredible. And he's bashing for 5. This is turn 3, I think.
6,
Turn 4.
Exalted trigger on that Noble Hierarch.
Oh, that's right. That's a 3-turn clock.
Yeah.
Big difference there.
O-Stone?
You need to runner land right now. Otherwise, he's just going to lose. Matthew's over here considering his options.
Yeah, because he has them now.
Yeah, he surprisingly has options. If it's me, I'm just getting in there. At least with the tireless tracker, you got it. That's the first
Play
step. Get in there for 6.
A clue.
Yeah, get your clue. And get in for 6.
Of course, it's a fetch land. Now he gets maximum value off the tireless tracker.
My goodness. This guy's an animal.
I think the only thing Mathew is trying to do here is see if he can find some way to just, like, kill him here.
Mm-hmm.
He can.
He can cord his... We were just told by our spotter, he can cord for Finks and gain infinite life here.
Yeah. Not anymore the way he's set himself up.
No.
But if he had not tapped his lands, cord for
he's just
kitchen.
going to extend the hand.
Yeah.
Brendon knew the game was over there. That's an unfortunate game 3. You can't really make any judgments off of that. You know, man, we are now 0 for everything. We're just not going to get a single prediction right.
I think I'm going to stop predicting.
You know what I said I was going to, and I lied.
I'll talk about what I think does better instead of saying what I think is going to win.
I won't even make that because I'm just going to say who I think is going to win.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. What'd you guys think?
I don't think I've ever seen 2 players both mulligan all the way to 4.
Well, that's a format like Modern. You have to have certain cards at a certain time.
Yeah.
And you mulligan until you have those cards, or you just lose the game.
Yeah, I think they both were like, all right, now once they hit like 5, they were like, now we just need our hands to do something. I don't even care anymore. And Tron just didn't for 2 hands. I saw one of his hands just had no lands.
I will.
Minute for life. Interesting question. I'm pretty sure
Are they getting someone in there?
I've asked you before.
I want to go smoke.
Looking out into the room, it looks like most people are finishing up or already finished. The Pro Tour finishing up today was interesting, to say the least. Of course, when you look at the top 8, you go, oh, geez, so many Boros aggro decks. White splashing red is clearly the best place to be. And we talked about it. Maybe it isn't. But when you look at the whole metagame breakdown, definitely make sure you look at the decks that went 8-0 in Standard or 9-0 or whatever the result was. Because draft at these Pro Tours skews things heavily. I think most of the players who were in the top 8 were players who 6-0'd or 5-1'd the 2 drafts between both of the days. So definitely make sure that if you're interested in Standard decks now, that you take a look at all of the decks that had XO Standard performances and not just the players who top 8'd. congrats on the win.
All right, thanks, man.
That was an interesting game.
Oh yeah, it got really it was good. It was a good first game. Like he just had his like good draws and everything like that. Game 2 is I just had everything I needed in hand. I had the Devoted Druid, I had the Vizier, just had the Court of Calling Druid in hand also. So it's just he had his good turn 3, I had my good turn 3, and then game 3, we both couldn't get either anything playable or just no lands whatsoever. So it was just funny how that turned out.
What do you think of this matchup normally?
Oh, I really prefer this matchup. A lot of
really?
Tron. Oh yeah, especially like if game 2 is a good representation.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, just they either have their Dismember or they don't, and you just take them turn 3 before they can go their Karn, or there are any payoffs on that. But no, I really like the Tron matchup.
How do you think about sideboarding for this matchup?
Didn't. I really don't have anything.
I looked at your sideboard and I said I don't know if he wants to bring anything in here.
No, like so it's pretty much back to what I was saying. Is like that. Is like I just try to race them.
Yeah.
If they have it, they have me.
It seemed like you're pretty weak to Tron, unless you are comboing, and if you combo, then it doesn't matter what your opponent is.
Right. Like it's exactly that. It's just one of those things where it's like I really don't care if Tron would get me. Tron's just one of those matchups where it's just if I get you, I get you. If I don't, I mean that's just how it lines up.
Sure.
But yeah, I probably should have, on the bright side or like hindsight of things, bring in like the Pride Mages or like the Knight of Autumn or something like that, because I don't know why I completely forgot about Oathstone or something like that. And then when he just plopped that down on what was that, game 2 or game 1? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it worked out, so can't really complain.
Sure. I mean, you won.
Yeah, right.
Who cares? What do you think about the Counters Company or Druid combo deck in the current Modern metagame?
I mean,
Are there a lot of decks that you are like worried to be paired up against?
Just anything control-wise. Like it's one of those things where it's once you hit the counter spells, it just becomes really harder.
Sure.
Because they can just leave themselves open, stop me from I'm trying to court at the end of theirs. It really makes you play on your turn, and it's one of those things where it's like it's harder to do, in my opinion at least.
Sure.
But yeah. But I mean, like in something where it's like other control matches, so like your Ironworks or your Storm or something like that, I really like those matchups. It's just it's one of those things where it's like it just depends on who gets their good stuff, and then when it goes to sideboarding, you bring in your hate stuff. So I don't know. I think it's good.
Sure. This deck seems like it's pretty geared to beat a format that is as skewed heavily towards combo and aggro as it currently is.
Right. Also to bring back the whole thing with like the I guess Burn would be a bad one because just of all the spot removal.
Sure.
Yeah. That and Tron, John's Abzan.
Sure.
I know a couple of times, what's his name, Alexander?
Alexander Gabriel.
Yeah, a couple of times I go against him, it's just try to get out of the threat, and then it's just like, I had a threat, now it's gone, and I guess, I don't know. I just like the deck. I've been playing it for over like a year or so now.
Sure.
So
it's good. In Modern right now, it's very good to stick with one deck and know it well.
Oh, yeah. Just the experience and everything like that just pays off for just playing off of like what the, I guess, meta or like best deck or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, congratulations on your win.
All right, thank you.
Good luck in the next rounds.
All right, thank you.